and welcome back to Speakeasy English. I'm your host, Emily, and as always, I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Tommy.
Hi, everyone. Great to have you with us. Today, we've got something really useful for you. Diving deeper into some fantastic advanced phrases.
That's right. We're expanding on our previous list of 30 phrases. We'll revisit each one, giving a more thorough explanation of its meaning, nuance, and typical usage, along with those new examples.
These are phrases that really add color and precision to your English. They're around a C1 level, but understanding the nuances will help you use them confidently.
Exactly. Knowing when and why to use a phrase is just as important as knowing what it means. Let's get started with number 1 again, a fraction of.
Okay, a fraction of. You said it means a small part. Can you elaborate?
Absolutely, a fraction of. It emphasizes that the part is very small, often surprisingly so, compared to the whole. It's not just less, it's significantly less. While common for price, it works for time, quantity, anything measurable. For example, it only took me a fraction of the time I expected to finish the report, meaning it was much quicker than anticipated.
So it introduces a balanced viewpoint?
Exactly. Like, it wasn't a perfect holiday because of the rain, but all things considered, moving to a new city was the right decision for us. You're acknowledging potential downsides, but stating the overall positive outcome after reflection.
Makes sense. And number 3, similar but different, all in all.
Right. All in all is also a summary phrase, but it's perhaps slightly less about weighing specific points and more about giving a general, overall impression. Think of it like saying, in general or overall.
So, less analytical, more of a general wrap-up?
Precisely. For instance, there were a few speakers who weren't great, but all in all, the conference was a success. It summarizes the general feeling without necessarily listing all the factors considered.
Clear difference. Moving on to number 4. To be bound to.
To be bound to. This expresses a strong sense of certainty or inevitability about a future event. It's much stronger than likely to or probably will. It implies something is almost destined to happen.
So, it's about high probability turning into near certainty?
Yes, often based on current evidence or logic. Like, if you keep practicing like that, you're bound to improve quickly. The continuous practice makes improvement almost inevitable.
Very useful for predictions. Okay, number 5. To be down to.
To be down to. This directly attributes a result or situation to a specific cause. It answers the why behind something. It's often used for explaining reasons, sometimes problems or changes.
So pinpointing the cause?
Exactly. It clarifies the origin. For example, their success wasn't luck. It was down to years of hard work and dedication. It directly credits hard work as the cause of success.
Got it. Number 6, the expressive one. To drive somebody up the wall.
Laughs. Yes, to drive someone up the wall. This idiom vividly expresses extreme annoyance or irritation. It's informal and often used hyperbolically, meaning with exaggeration to show how frustrating something is.
So it's not literally driving them anywhere?
Definitely not. It just means making them feel very annoyed or crazy. Like, my neighbor's constant loud music drives me up the wall. It expresses a high level of irritation.
Good to know it's informal. Okay, number 7. Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. This phrase acknowledges that something which sounds simple in theory is actually difficult to achieve in practice. It shows realism or sometimes empathy for the difficulty involved.
So it's used when advice is simple, but action is hard.
Exactly. It flags the practical challenge. For example, I know I should quit sugar, but it's easier said than done. Recognizes the difficulty of breaking the habit.
Relatable. Right. Number 8. For the most part.
for the most part. This is a great way to make a general statement while implicitly acknowledging that there might be exceptions. It's similar to mostly, generally, or in most cases.
So it qualifies a general truth.
Yes, it makes your statement more nuanced and accurate. Like, my job can be stressful sometimes, but for the most part, I really enjoy it. Admits stress exists, but emphasizes overall enjoyment.
Useful for generalizations. Numbers 10 and 11. The moods. 10. In high spirits.
In high spirits, this describes a state of noticeable cheerfulness, liveliness, and optimism. It usually results from good news, success, or just a generally positive outlook at that moment.
More than just happy.
Yes, it implies energy and visible cheer. For example, the children were in high spirits on Christmas morning, excited about their presents.
And the opposite, number 11. In low spirits.
Exactly. In low spirits means someone is feeling sad, discouraged, or lacking energy, often due to disappointment, bad news, or fatigue. It's a more descriptive way to say someone is down or unhappy.
So it captures that subdued feeling?
Precisely. Like, he's been in low spirits ever since he heard the bad news about the project. It implies sadness and perhaps demotivation.
Good descriptions. Number 12, just around the corner.
Just around the corner. This idiom means that something is going to happen very soon. It's imminent. It creates a sense of nearness in time.
Can it be used for seasons, events?
Yes, absolutely. It's versatile. Example, don't worry about the cold. Spring is just around the corner. Meaning spring will arrive very soon.
Nice positive usage there. Number 13, to make a point of doing something.
To make a point of doing something. This emphasizes that someone does something deliberately and consistently, usually because they think it's important or want to ensure it happens. It highlights intention and effort.
So it's about conscious, regular action.
Exactly. It's not accidental. For example, he makes a point of calling his parents every Sunday, no matter how busy he is, shows his deliberate commitment.
That's dedication. Number 14, the financial one, to make ends meet.
To make ends meet, this specifically means earning just enough money to cover essential living expenses, like rent, food, bills, without any surplus. It often implies a struggle or financial difficulty.
So, just surviving financially, not thriving?
That's the core idea. Like, with the rising cost of living, many families are finding it harder to make ends meet. Highlights the financial pressure.
Very relevant. Okay, number 15, to miss the point.
To miss the point, this means failing to understand the main message, the essential idea, or the intended meaning of what someone said or did. You might understand the words, but not the underlying significance.
So, focusing on the wrong thing or misunderstanding the core message.
Precisely. Like, he kept arguing about the grammar details, completely missing the point of the main proposal, which was about strategy.
Frustrating when that happens. Number 16, the adjective, narrow-minded.
Narrow-minded. This is a negative description for someone who is unwilling to consider or accept ideas, opinions, or lifestyles different from their own. It implies prejudice and a lack of openness.
The opposite of open-minded, then?
Exactly. For example, it's difficult to have a productive discussion with someone so narrow-minded about different cultures. They refuse to see other perspectives.
Not a compliment. Number 17, on hand.
On hand, this simply means physically present and available to help or be used when needed. It implies readiness and accessibility.
Usually for people or resources.
Yes. For example, we have technical staff on hand throughout the event to help with any IT issues, meaning support is readily available.
Good to know help is available. Number 18, On the face of it.
On the face of it, this phrase is used to describe how something appears initially or superficially, often with an underlying suggestion that the reality might be different or more complex upon closer inspection.
So, it introduces a first impression that might be incomplete?
Exactly. It signals apparently or seemingly. Like, on the face of it, the plan seems simple, but there are hidden complexities we need to consider.
Implies looking deeper. Got it. Number 19. On the verge of.
On the verge of, this idiom means extremely close to doing something or entering a particular state. It emphasizes immediacy. Something is about to happen.
Often used for emotional states or breakthroughs.
Yes, very common for those, like being on the verge of tears, collapse, discovery, etc. Example, scientists believe they are on the verge of a major breakthrough in cancer research, highlighting how close they are.
Creates anticipation. Number 20. The catchy one. Part and parcel.
Part and parcel. This emphasizes that something is an essential, inherent, and often unavoidable element of a larger experience or situation. It's not extra. It's integral.
So, something you just have to accept as included?
Pretty much. It's often used for aspects that might be neutral or even negative, but are simply part of the deal. For example, making mistakes and learning from them is part and parcel of the learning process.
Accepts the reality. Number 21. To pose a question.
To pose a question, this is a slightly more formal or thoughtful way of saying to ask or to raise a question. It's often used when a situation or finding naturally leads to a question that needs consideration.
So, it implies the question arises from the context?
Often, yes. Like these unexpected findings posed the question of whether our initial theory was correct. The findings themselves raised the question.
Sounds quite academic or analytical. Number 22. Remarkably complex.
Remarkably complex, using remarkably here intensifies complex. It means something is surprisingly, notably, or impressively intricate and complicated. Remarkably adds emphasis.
So, very complex, but with a touch more emphasis or surprise?
Exactly. It highlights the degree of complexity. For example, the human brain is a remarkably complex organ, and we still don't fully understand it.
Powerful descriptive pair. Number 23. A roller coaster of emotions.
A roller coaster of emotions. This vividly describes experiencing a rapid series of very different and intense feelings, highs and lows, happiness, sadness, excitement, fear, etc. It captures emotional volatility.
Like the ups and downs of a real roller coaster?
Precisely that imagery. Like, planning a wedding was a roller coaster of emotion. Excitement 1 minute, stress the next.
Very descriptive. Number 24. Short and sharp.
Short and sharp. This describes something, like a meeting, comment, or action, that is brief, direct, efficient, and perhaps a bit forceful, but in a way that gets straight to the point without wasting time.
Often positive, meaning concise and effective.
Usually, yes, especially in professional context. For example, let's keep the feedback session short and sharp. Focus on the key points.
Efficient. Number 25. To sit on the fence.
To sit on the fence, this idiom means to avoid choosing a side or making a definite decision in a dispute or argument. It often implies indecisiveness or a desire to avoid conflict or commitment.
So, staying neutral and uncommitted?
Exactly. Like, when it comes to political debates, he tends to sit on the fence rather than express a strong opinion.
Understandable sometimes. Number 26. To steal the show.
To steal the show. This means to attract more attention, praise, or admiration than anyone or anything else in a particular situation. especially when not expected to be the main focus.
Like an unexpected star performance?
Yes, it implies outshining others. Like, the main actor was good, but the talented child actor completely stole the show with her performance.
Always fun when that happens. Number 27. To take great pleasure in.
To take great pleasure in. This strongly emphasizes genuine enjoyment and satisfaction derived from doing something. It can be positive, but sometimes carries a slightly mischievous or even malicious tone if the pleasure comes at someone else's expense. Remember the useful negative form too. Take no great pleasure in.
So the context is important for the tone?
Very important. For example, I have to admit, I took great pleasure in proving him wrong after he was so dismissive. Here, it's a bit cheeky. Or positively, she takes great pleasure in gardening.
Good distinction. Number 28. To walk on eggshells.
To walk on eggshells. This idiom describes behaving very cautiously and carefully around someone because they are easily angered, upset, or offended. It conveys a sense of tension and fear of saying or doing the wrong thing.
Implies a very sensitive or volatile situation.
Exactly. The image is of being so careful you wouldn't even break fragile eggshells. Example, ever since their huge argument, they've been walking on eggshells around each other.
Must be exhausting. Number 29. Without a care in the world.
Without a care in the world. This describes a state of being completely free from worries, anxieties, or responsibilities. It conveys a sense of blissful, carefree ease.
Sounds lovely, if sometimes unrealistic.
Yes, like, look at the children playing happily in the park, completely without a care in the world.
Pure innocence. And finally, number 30. Worth your weight in gold.
Yes, worth your its weight in gold. This is a high form of praise, meaning someone or something is extremely valuable, useful, helpful, or indispensable. It emphasizes immense worth.
So not literally about gold, but extreme value?
Precisely. It's a strong compliment. Example, that piece of practical advice she gave me saved me hours of work. It was worth its weight in gold.
Fantastic phrase to end on. Wow, those expanded explanations really add depth.
Hope so. Understanding these nuances helps you choose the right phrase for the right situation and sound more natural.
Definitely. Remember, everyone, pick a few, understand the deeper meaning we discussed, and try to incorporate them into your speaking or writing.
Great advice. Well, that's all from us for this deep dive on Speak Easy English.
Thanks so much for joining us. If you found this extra detail useful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
See you in the next episode.